Greetings to everyone. Thank you for another session. Thank you for joining in. We'll be starting the session in a bit. Thank you so much all for joining in. Thank you for those watching right now and those that will watch later. Thank you all. So today we'll be looking at focusing on positivity to achieve exceptional results. Focusing on positivity to achieve exceptional results. What do we really mean by focusing on positivity to achieve exceptional results? We literally mean creating things and success for yourself by your word. To focus on positivity in order to achieve an exceptional result simply means to create things, to create experience and success for yourself by the use of your word. Let me start with this. Everything we see on the earth today, they all started first by someone who speak about them. Everything we see on the earth today, they all started first by words. Somebody was there to speak about them before we see them in existence. For instance, every innovation we have in our world today, from technology down to textile, name it, everything we can behold in our world today, every innovation, every dreams that are bet, every ideas that are turned to reality, everything we can now do on this earth today, they all started by somebody who is seated in a place speaking about it. Likewise, every war between two cities or nations, they all started first by word. Before we see the reaction, before we see actions all around, they all started first by word. And every peace we've witnessed among two cities or nations, name it, they also started by word. And even we, human, our formation started with word. One of the holy books said, in one of it was written that let us come together, where God said, let us make man in our image. It was like a deliberation between God and a host of heavens. Let us make man in our image. It started first with word. Before the formation of man by God, it talked about it first. So everything we see on the earth today all started first by the use of word. We move forward. Your word creates the opportunity for what you dream or aspire to come to fulfillment. Your word is like a tool that when you use it, it creates the opportunity. It creates the atmosphere for the actualization of what you dreamed of. That is what your word does. In a work environment, challenges and difficulties are bound to happen. But it is what you say about those challenges that will determine the outlook of your next season and future. Instead of you to talk about what you are experiencing, rather talk about what you want. We said this last time. Use your word to get yourself to the position that you desired. Make use of your word to get yourself to the position that you desire. Words are powerful weapons that create the atmosphere of whatsoever we thought of. Words propels the opportunity for us to dream and to have our dream come to pass. That is what word does. And one thing I want to say about word is that the more you use it, the more you say something through the use of your word, the more the chances of the actualization of such a thing. The more you use your word, the more the chances of the actualization of such a thing. So it is therefore important for us to understand the role of word in our destiny. Word is a powerful weapon we have to get ourselves from any point we are to any point we desire. One thing is that yes, power makes things happen. Money makes things happen. One of those things that also make things happen is word. We even learn it from God. He made everything by word. Say, let there be this, let there be this, let there be this. Is word. And because we are created in the image of that God, that same God, we are also in the position to bet things in our life by our word. We must understand the role of word in our journey in life. Word create and transform circumstances. Word, you can use word to create situation, and you can use word to transform the shape of situation. When something you don't want happen, use your word to transform it. When something you want, you didn't see it in existence, use your word to create it. Don't forget what we said earlier. Everything we see in our world today, everything we can see, we can hold, we can touch, they all started first with word. Every idea we see better in our world today, they did not just start. No, nobody just started like that. Somebody was there to speak about it first. Every event that has taken place on the earth today, somebody has spoken about it before. Word is a powerful tool in our hands to cause changes that we desire. We must understand the place of word. The truth is that whosoever control our tongue shall determine the position that our body will be. In other words, let me put it like this. If you are the one in charge of your word, you will by yourself determine where your life will be. But if it is your environment that determines what you will say, then your life will only be in tune of whatsoever your environment is looking at. In the work environment, just as I've said earlier, difficulties happen, challenges happen, but you are not to respond to the challenges in a manner at which the challenges is thrown at you. No. Don't forget, we talked about this last week, positivity in the workplace. When you don't say what you see, but you say what you want. Men of war don't react to the environment the way the environment is open, is shown to them. No. But if you can't control your tongue, you put yourself in a position to transform the situation you are seeing and right to your own taste. If your environment is dictating what you will say, then you only see your life reflecting what the environment seems to look like. But if you take charge of your tongue, you don't allow your environment to intimidate you of saying what you ought not to say, but you are in charge of your tongue, saying things as you desire. You'll see your life ahead of your environment. That is what you will see. Word is the oldest and greatest power given by divinity to humanity to determine the state of his or her well-being at any given point in time. Word is our weapon to navigate our life on this earth. I will take it again. Word is the oldest and greatest power given by the divinity to humanity to determine the state of its well-being at any given point in time. Word is your weapon to navigate your life for yourself. You must learn how to make use of it. I'm going to share some examples of men who understand the role that word plays and they take advantage of that and they get themselves to where they desire, even when the environment tells them, no, this cannot happen. But they understand the role that word play and they use the power of word to get themselves to where they desire. I'll start with the Wright brothers. These are two brothers who desired to create something that billions of people on the earth will find comfort in it, that will move people from here to another point effortlessly. And they thought of an aircraft, something that will be flying on air. Many people told them how it is not possible for them to achieve it. Someone even told them, do you consider the law of gravity? Whatsoever goes up will come down. How you have an heavy object just flying on the air? How is that possible? They told them many things on how it cannot be possible. They kept on saying one thing: we are going to have an invention on this earth that will take people from one point to another effortlessly on air. They kept on saying that. They kept on saying that. And today, that which was said by them years ago is what many of us is using as an instrument today to move ourselves from point one to point two, regardless of how distant they are. Power of word. They were told it is not possible, but they kept on saying it. We are going to invent something that will move. They kept on saying it, regardless of what people are saying, regardless of what the environment they are in sees it to be. They were saying what they want. And don't forget, you might not know how such thing will come to pass. What you want will come to pass. But what word will do for you that when you say the right word, when you make use of your word rightly, it creates the opportunity, it creates the atmosphere. You might not know how it will be, but for you to say it, what your word does is that it will create the environment, the opportunity for the actualization of that which you are saying. That is the role of the word. I move on to the second person. This is Mrs. Ibukawoshika, a woman that literally called herself from being an importer of furniture to an exporter of furniture. She was into the furniture business. At a point, the government came up with a policy that banned importations of some materials into the country, Nigeria. She majority of her products were imported. How will this be? How will she continue her business? That's what many people will be thinking, will be saying. But she kept on saying something, that the policy has not come to disrupt her own business, but the policy has come to help her business to go into another height of level. She never thought, before the policy was made known, she never thought of being an exporter. Even if she thought of that, she never had that plan ready. But that which was proposed by the government, which seems to be a threat for her, became an opportunity for her to leverage on, to upskill her business. And what happened? Because when the challenge came, She said, this challenge has not come to destroy my business. This challenge has come to take my business to another height. Being an importer, she speaks herself to become an exporter of furniture material in our nation today, Nigeria and Africa as a continent. Power of word. I move on to the next person. We know the two set of sisters. They are called the Williams sister. In the world of tennis today, you can't mention hero in the world of tennis today as a female category is concerned without mentioning these two sisters, Venus and Serena. It's not possible. But how did they get to this point? It was because of somebody. This is their father. It's called Richard William. These are the two siblings when they were young. The friction we see about Serena and Venus today started with their father. History made us to know that before they were born, their father has been speaking about who they will be. History made us to know that their father will go to tennis court to watch match. He will go with a placard and will raise the placard up. The Williams sister will rule the world of tennis. These are people yet to be born. History made us to know that he wrote a 78 page of report about who these children will be. When they were born, he will take them to tennis court. These are little children. He will go with placard written, the Williams sisters will rule the world of tennis. And today, in the world of tennis today, we see Serena and Venus ruling that industry. Wherever Serena is not first, you see Venus being first. Wherever Venus is not first, you see Serena being first. Two sisters. But there was somebody behind the scene who was speaking word before they were birthed. And that is a father. The power of word. You can cause things to come to fulfillment by your word. Your word create the atmosphere. Your word create the environment. Your word create the process. You might not know how it will be. You want to move from point A to point B, but you don't understand how it will be. Start speaking about point B. Even though you don't understand how point B will come to fulfillment, start speaking about it. And you'll see the power of word turning things around, bringing up opportunities that you didn't think of. That is the role of word. Don't forget, word started with God. Word started with God. It is the first tool in God's hands to cause things to happen on this earth. And He created us in His image. We have that element, that power to use the same thing God did at the beginning to cause things also to happen in our life. If you have not been using word to get things, to get results, you need to start today. There's power in a word. One of the things that divinity has given to humanity is word. To cause things to happen, to navigate situations on the heart, to create things on the heart, to transform things on the heart. Word is the key. I'll conclude with this. Nothing great has ever become until they have been spoken. There is nothing that have come to pass without being spoken. Nothing great you see in this earth has ever become until they have been spoken. The power of positivity. Thank you all for joining this session. Thank you so much, everyone watching right now. And those that will watch later, thank you so much for joining. We see you again next week. Same time, same station. Thank you. Thank you.